Well, it's time for a compilation of the episodes of Curb Your Kenneth. So before we get started, I just want to tell you that I'm making some changes to my main channel. This is only because I've applied for a YouTube partner program and they rejected my applications for reused content. And I figured out that the Curb Your Kenneth episodes I've uploaded on my main channel was one of the reasons. I also thought the YouTube Shorts trends I've been participating in was also the reason. But after typing some about participating in YouTube Shorts to Gemini, formerly known as Bard, I just learned that it's not necessarily reusing someone's content, but I'm just gonna stop doing that for a while. And also, I've decided that I was gonna move the Curb Your Kenneth series to my backup channel, which is this channel, as well as my other Curb Your series. Anything Kenneth related that's not Curb Your Kenneth, that doesn't reuse anyone else's content, will stay on my main channel, so yeah. So, from now on, you will see Curb Your episodes on this channel, not my main channel. Because I'm trying to apply for a YouTube partner program, I'm trying to monetize, and I don't want them to reject my application again, so yeah. Now with that being said, let's get started.
Wow! It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
In this episode, we will be taking a look at Kenneth's reaction video to mine. Here we go. Also, don't mind the juice. I'll charge you later.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah, what you say right there? My man, watch it up, bro. Tackle over there. Going from the States, alright? So 3 weeks search.
No, Rempig, you are the one that needs to do your research. There are 5 boroughs, not 7. And that concludes today's episode. Peace.
Now I'll show you the editing.
My video? And he has a fucking audacity to just like it? Yeah, watch the
Pig.
So you see, there are 7...
No, shut up, Redpig. I don't want to hear you anymore. Here's what I did. I literally wrote everything on a post-it note, word by word. That whatever's in your notebook. Then I whited out the 7, and then put the 5 where it's supposed to be. I even whited out Long Island and Westchester. The only reason I did that is because Long Island and Westchester aren't boroughs. Now, Rempig, you keep this up. I'm literally going to take your notebook and do the same thing to what I did with that post-it note. That'll be it with this episode, guys. Peace.
Wow! It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
In this episode, we will be looking at Kenneth's posts about Metro North going to New Jersey and Philly. Take a look at this. We have an exterior of a Metro North train in one picture and an interior of an NJT train in another. And now look at the comments. Mine said literally 2 different trains. First one is the exterior of Metro North, second one is NJT. And he's stealing images as usual. And I don't have time to read all this. So yeah.
Rempig, do your research and stop stealing images.
That concludes today's episode. See you in the next episode. Peace!
Wow! It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to Kenneth's first Curb Your Taco Elevators episode.
It's time for the premiere of Curb Your Taco Elevators.
Where's the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song? You didn't include it. You did it wrong. Also, I'm just gonna skip right here. Now, Rempig, you keep this up. I'm literally going to take your notebook and do the same thing to what I did with that post-it note.
No, you're not. Not gonna have it, Taco Lopez.
Yes, I will.
Here's the proof. So you see, there are 7 boroughs in New York City.
Nope, there are 5. Also, I'm gonna skip to...
Now, Rempig, you keep this up. I'm literally going to take your notebook and do the same thing to what I did with that post-it note.
No, you're not. Not gonna have it, Taco Lopez.
Yes, I will.
Wow. It's time for part 2 of the most recent episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
Here's the proof. So you see, there are 7 boroughs in New York City.
Nope, there are 5. Also, I'm gonna skip to like up here. And stop stealing pictures and videos.
No, Taco Lopez. Let me tell you something. You do your research. Don't lie with the bill, okay?
No, you do your research. You know what? I'm done. I'm not dealing with shit anymore. So this concludes today's episode. Peace.
Wow. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be reacting to this video that Kenneth tagged me in. Rempig, stop saying that the M does go to Chamber Street because it doesn't. So do your fucking research! Bro, you skipped part of it.
Research, Taco Lopez. Do your research. The Z do not exist.
The Z exists, Rempig. Why don't you do your research? Anyways, that concludes today's episode. See you in the next episode. Peace.
Wow. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be reacting to Kenneth Rembert's second Curb Your Taco Elevators episode. We're gonna skip the intro because we already know how bad it is. It's already turning out bad.
Let me show you. Here's the get along. Here's the road right here. Here's the road right here.
Dumbass, that's PATH, not New Jersey Transit Subway. In fact, New Jersey Transit doesn't have a subway. I mean, New Jersey Subway can refer to a bunch of things, but that doesn't mean NJT has an official subway. Whatever you're showing me is PATH. Now do your research, Rempig. You know what? I'm done. See you in the next episode, guys. Peace.
Wow. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to the comment section in my Curb Your Kenneth episode that released midnight. Let's take a look at it. It's Metro North Railroad in New Jersey and Philadelphia. Fool, do your research. No, Rempig, you're the one who needs to do your research. Ahem, who's the one talking here? Me, fool. More like you're the fool here. Look, you're the fool here. You've always been the fool. Because you won't do your research. Do your research, Rempig. Anyways, that'll be it for this episode. See you in the next one, guys. Peace. Wow. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to this episode Kenneth made. Curb Your Andy Randomness Season 1 Episode 4. Let's get started. First of all, Rempig, you used the wrong music. Also, I'm gonna skip the intro because it's bad.
Kenneth Rembert. There are no 7 boroughs of New York City. Long Island and Westchester do not count.
I think you won't, Andy Murray. There are now 7 boroughs in New York City. Long Island and Westchester. So, Andy Murray, do your research.
No, Rempig, you need to do your research. Also, how many times do we have to tell you that there are 5 boroughs in New York City, not 7? Long Island and Westchester don't count. This is the last time I'm going to tell you.
It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
Here's the clip.
You see, Kenneth member, it says Q to Coyon Silver Avenue via Brighton.
And this time, Church Lopez, you are wrong. The Q goes via West End and the D goes via right, look at the B. So do your research, alright? Alright.
No, Rempig, you're wrong. It literally says the Q via the Brighton line. And the D via West End. Do your research. That concludes today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Wow. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
The one that stood out to me was him calling us a fool, like this one here. You see how he's calling me a fool? Rempik, more like you're the fool here. But take a look at this. Now, the random transit is saying, no, they aren't. Not, you fool. And Rempik would be like, stop calling me that. Then how come you called other people a fool when we call you a fool? You don't like it. Gosh, you're such a hypocrite. You are, Rempig. Why do you call us a fool if you don't like it when we call you a fool? That's being a hypocrite, Rempig. Anyways, that'll be it for today's episode. Wow! It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to this Curb Your Chelsea Lopez episode Kenneth Rembert made.
Clip of it. See what I'm talking about.
Northbound train. The next and last stop is Woodville Park, Lopez Boulevard.
So you see, Church Lopez, the C goes like the Boulevard, not any Church Ticket on.
Broski, you just cut out a clip of that video. Alright, now take a listen to this.
This is a Lefferts Boulevard bound C train via the A line. The next stop is...
You cut out via the A line. That is a reroute, okay? Now do your research, Rampig. Wow! It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to this Curb Your Taco Elevators episode Rampig made. Let's get started.
Well, it's time for another episode of Curb Your Taco Elevator. In this clip, Taco Elevator hates emptying on bus online.
Rampig, when did I say I hated emptying Long Island bus?
Well, here's the clip. So I can see Taco Elevator emptying on bus is still there and between January 1st, 2030 is present. So do your research or else you're gonna. Taco Elevator hates emptying on bus online.
Rampig, when did I say I hated emptying Long Island bus? Well, it's time for part 2 of the previous episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
So I can see Taco Elevator emptying on bus is still there and between January 1st, 2030 is present. So do your research or else you're gonna be in big trouble. Do your research.
No, Rampig, you need to do your research. Also, Long Island Bus is now under the name Nassau Intercounty Express, or NICE. Just to try to make this under 60 seconds, pause this if you want to read this. Okay? But anyways, no pun intended, but Rampig, that's not nice at all. Stop. Wow! It is time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we'll be reacting to Kenneth's comments. We're specifically going to be looking at the ones that say no. Let's count how many times he said it. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. For those of you who don't know Spanish, I count to 4 in Spanish. But anyways, he said that after I told him that he better keep that way or else another Curb Your episode releases. That's when he said it. And then I told him he says it one more time, it's going to come out. And he said it again. If he had never said it, then this episode would have never existed. Rempig, think before you speak. Anyways, that'll conclude today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Wow.
It is time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be reacting to this YouTube community post Kenneth Rembert has. Before we get to that, let's take a look at this one. And now if we look at the comment section, I asked him to stop with the unpainted fingernails. And this is when all of this existed. Rempik, you asked for it, so don't blame me. Because by posting this, you asked me to make this episode. If you would have never posted this episode would have never existed. So think before you post on your YouTube community tab, Rempig.
That concludes today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace.
Wow. It is time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to this YouTube community post and the comment section for it. Rempig, how many times do we have to tell you the C does not go to Ozone Park Lefferts Boulevard, the A does? And why don't you do your research? Also, whatever you said to Chelsea Lopez is not cool. Telling her to get the hell off of YouTube, more like you should do it instead. Now if you look at the comment section, take a look at this. Pause to read. Okay, now look at this comment that says, hey, leave Chelsea alone, alright? No, you should leave her alone. So why are you telling him to leave her alone when you won't leave her alone? What a hypocrite. Sheesh, I have enough, bro. Come on. That concludes today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Well, it's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be looking at this video Kenneth Rembert made. Get used to it. Season 1, Episode 2. Look at the description. Pause to read it. Okay, let's watch it. I bet you stole this, Rempig. Also, Long Island bus will not be coming back. Take a look at the comments section. No, they won't. Look. It will happen, pal, soon. No, it's not, Rempig. R179C train is coming up. Keep it up. No! And as usual, Rempig be saying this. And also, he be typing in all caps. That'll conclude today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Well. It's time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be reacting to this Curb Your Tucker Elevators episode Kenneth Rembert made. Let's get started, shall we?
Well, it's time for yet another episode of Curb Your Tucker Elevators. In this clip, Tucker Elevators explain about everything on the bus is not coming back. Well, here's the clip.
I bet you stole this, Rempig. Also, Long Island bus will not be coming back.
Oh yeah, Tucker Elevators? Well, everything on the bus is indeed coming back.
Rempig. MTA LIB ceased operations on December 31st, 2011. And that'll be it for today's episode. Peace. Well. It's time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. Well,
It's time for yet another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be reacting to this episode right here. And we've skipped a lot of it just because we don't want to hear the first part.
Rempig. MTA LIB ceased operations on December 31st, 2011.
No, they didn't. MTA Online Bus is still there, attack alert. So do your research, or else I will expose you for false information. Meantime,
Rempig. MTA LIB ceased operation on December 31st, 2011, and Nice Bus commenced operation on January 1st, 2012. Do your research.
That concludes today's episode.
See you in the next one. Peace. Well. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we'll be reacting to this video Kenneth Rembert has. Chamber Street bound M train departing Canal Street. Also, I know for sure that you stole this, Rempig. Anyways, let's get started. Rempig, I know that you cut part of it out. Look at this. It literally says it right here. Look at the jump cut. Right there. That's where the jump cut is. Alright, now listen to this.
This is a Chamber Street bound M train via the J line. The next and last stop is Chamber Street.
Rempig, you cut out via the J line. The M does not go to Chamber Street unless it's rerouted via the J line. Do your research.
Well. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be looking at this YouTube community post Rempig has up. This one about Chelsea Lopez. Rempig, how many times do we have to tell you, leave Chelsea Lopez alone? Also, she doesn't spread false information, you do. And look, they ain't gonna do anything. NYPD ain't gonna do anything, alright? Now let's take a look at the comment section. Look, whatever Edward's saying is true, is a point. And now look, if you look at my comment, pause this to read. Alright.
That'll conclude today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Well. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we'll be reacting to my comment section. Kenneth Rembert has commented on my comment section for my video of rail fanning at Oregon Station. Rempig, how many times do we have to tell you? It will never become SEPTA Metro. Do your research. Look at SEPTA's website. Oh, by the way, this is a short one because it's late at night right now and I have to get some sleep. I don't know why, but yeah. I just woke up for some reason and decided to make this episode just because I found this. But yeah, that'll conclude today's episode. Peace.
Well. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, I just want to tell Kenneth Rembert that if you're going to premiere all these videos, they better not be that short. A few seconds of weakness. Because Rempig, most of your videos, they're like a few seconds long. It's weak. And what's the point of premiering them if they're that short? Oh, and also Rempig, I bet that they are stolen. Rempig, you seriously gotta stop stealing content.
That concludes today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace.
Well. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth.
On this episode, we will be reacting to this video Kenneth Rembert has. Let's get started.
Everybody,
Alright guys, I'm about to take a bath right now. Alright? Watch the clip. When we go take a bath. So, I did take a bath already. It was good. Made me feel good. Next time we'll do it again, alright? This is my YouTube channel.
Rempig, no one cares about your personal hygiene. This isn't something that should be posted on your YouTube channel, alright? It's creepy. Please stop, alright? And that'll be it for today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Well, it's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we will be looking at Kenneth's comment section for this video. Kenneth Rembert, how many times do we have to tell you it's the BXM4C, not the WM4C? Do your research, Rempig. And Rempig, I even asked you if you wanted me to make another Curb Your Kenneth episode. And you said no, but then stop calling it WM4C. There you go, you called it again. And guess what? You made me make another Curb Your Kenneth episode. And don't be making excuses because you asked for it. If you would have never called it WM4C, then I wouldn't be making this episode. You know what? I'm done here. That'll be it for today's episode. Peace. Well, it's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. Let's get started.
Here's a clip of it. So you see second elevators? New Jersey trying to get subway. There's no such thing as fact. So second elevators, do your research.
Oh, really, Rempig? We'll see about that. There is such thing as path. In fact, let me open up my Discord DMs because my friend said something about it. Even though New Jersey has a subway, that thing's called PATH, not NJT Subway. Because I remember seeing it on YouTube. Thank you, Owen. It's called PATH, Port Authority Trans-Hudson. Do your research, Rempig. Anyways, that will be it for today's episode. See you in the next one. Peace. Well, it's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. Stop making up stories. The R179 still runs on the sea. Yes, you're right about the fact that the R160s don't run on the sea anymore, but the R179s, they still run on the sea, buddy. Stop saying that they don't run on the sea anymore, okay? Now, if we take a look at the comments section, pause to read it. Okay, they are saying that the R179s still run on the sea. And there are way more R179s than R211Ts, okay? If we take a look at the rolling stock assignment, take a look. 2 R211T sets, 9 R179 sets. By the way, rolling stocks are subject to change. Do your research. Also, SEPTA will never become SEPTA Metro. Anyways, that'll be it. Until next time, peace. It's time for another episode of Curb Your Kenneth. On this episode, we'll be reacting to the description of this video, which got taken down because I submitted a removal request and YouTube took it down. So yeah, that's because he stole my video, but I did get a screenshot of the description. Take a look at this. Rempig. It is not called SEPTA Metro. Also, I paid the fare. And Rempig, there is a reason why I make the Curb Your Kenneth videos. So what I need you to do is stop calling it SEPTA Metro and stop stealing videos. If you would have never done these in the first place, Rempig, then these videos would have never existed. Anyways, that'll be it.
Stay tuned for part 2.